I'm here.
Vice Mayor Best,
Present.
Councilwoman Mitchell, absent, Councilwoman Zapata,
Here.
Councilman Petralano.
Here.
Did she say I'm present? Councilman Mitchell, I heard something in the background,
She's absent.
like a, like
She's
radio backup stuff. Well,
participating via phone.
feedback.
Something.
There's
Here.
feedback.
Yeah, there's.
Yeah.
Please stand for invocation. Okay. Well, Lord, we're here tonight to do some things for the city, to make our city as best as we can make it. And I have a request from Councilman Best for Al Magaranda, how you say it, Bobby? Al Margarata, a neighbor of mine who I've known for a long time at the Optimist Club, one of the founding members of the Optimist Club. And we'll just take a little moment of silence for him. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
Please stand for pledge allegiance, right hand, hats off,
Uncovered.
hats off. Uncovered, I pledge
allegiance
allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
One of the gentlemen came up to me and says, Mayor Bain, I voted for you every time. I'm not going to vote for you again because you didn't get your hat on.
Serves you right.
Yeah, that's it.
You know?
Great, yeah.
I don't think your microphone's on.
That's good. Is that a bad smoke?
No, it's not good. Thank you, Bill.
You're welcome. All right, we here? Oh, okay.
Estoy en una reunión de consejo.
All right, let's go. We go to a resolution.
3A. This is a resolution of the Mayor and City Council of the City of Miami Springs, Florida, declaring as required by Section 200.065 Florida statutes, the city's proposed millage rate, rollback rate computed pursuant to Section 200.065(1). Florida hearings will be held to consider the proposed millage rate and the tentative budget for fiscal year 1920, directing the city clerk and city manager to file this resolution with the Miami-Dade County Property Appraiser, authorizing the city manager to change budget hearing dates if needed, and providing for an effective date. Mayor and Council, the administration is recommending setting the millage cap tonight at 7.50 in order to provide council with the flexibility to make budget decisions during our upcoming workshops. At a cap rate of 7.5000, the surplus would be $276,385. Last year, the cap rate was set at 7.3575. At a cap rate of 7.5000, council could consider adding some or all of the items on the attached wish list for fiscal year 1920, which is on page 1 of your packet. As you're aware, the millage rate you set tonight will be the cap for the upcoming budget year. Council may lower the rate after all budget meetings are completed, but it may not set a rate higher than the cap approved tonight. The July 1st property value assessment was $1,256,462,625, or almost $74 million higher than the prior year's amount of $1,182,545,653. This represents approximately $516,000 in net additional ad valorem revenues for next year at the current millage rate. Each 1/10th reduction in millage is equivalent to $119,364. In order to prepare for this millage setting meeting, we have prepared various millage scenarios as follows. At the current millage rate of 7.35, the budget will provide a surplus of $97,339. This scenario also includes the funding requirements detailed below, which I'll get into later. Number 2, at a millage rate of 7.2685, the budget will be balanced but will generate no surplus. At the rollback rate of 6.9350, the budget would show a deficit of $398,022. This budget will require cost reductions in order to balance it. The total general fund budget is $17,618,395, of which $11,137,462, or 63.2%, represents employee salary and benefits. This leaves $6,480,933 to cover all other city needs. Now, in the proposed budget books that you got tonight, we prepared that budget based on a millage rate of 7.35. And that includes the following items. First, the initial proposed budget maintains a millage rate at the current 7.35, provides a surplus, and maintains and/or improves our current levels of service. Number two, the proposed 1920 budget includes the addition of one police officer, which will increase the number of uniform officers from 44 to 45. So you remember last year we increased from 43 to 44. Police budget also includes further improvements in technology in order to replace outdated and inefficient systems. It also includes a GPS tracking for our police vehicles and new equipment for our officers. Number three, the fiscal year 1920 budget includes an estimated $133,000 in debt service payments to cover the first year interest-only payment for the senior center construction loan. Number four, the Public Works budget includes the addition of one maintenance worker in the Streets Division to assist in improving the level of services citywide. Number five, the Senior Center budget includes $96,200 to cover the LSP funding that we lost this year from the state. These funds will fund some of the more popular programs, such as various classes and weekend meals. Number six, the IT budget includes converting the current part-time employee to full-time due to a significant workload of the department and no longer able to accomplish their tasks with 1.5 full-time equivalents. The health insurance renewal for next year is a 6% increase. The fiscal year 1920 budget includes a 3% COLA for all general employees. Total cost of this is approximately $128,423. The police budget includes a 3% pay raise for all uniform officers in accordance with the current contract terms, as well as a reduction in police pension contributions from 12.5% to 10.5%. Overall budget assumes a 3% cost of living increase for all operating expenditures, for example, fuel, utilities, supplies, etc. Number 10, the general fund budget request also contains approximately $566,819 in capital expenditures, which you can see on page 2. However, the budget impact of this for fiscal year 1920 will be $120,344, since $555,419 of the capital expenditures will be paid through a 5-year lease with annual payments of $120,344. These capital requests include, from Public Works, $227,000 to replace all of the ductwork, air vents, returns, and filters in the City Hall building. $25,000 in other improvements and equipment. Police, $154,719 in equipment, software, and GPS tracking system. Golf, $68,200 to replace 3 weather shelters at the golf course, repave the maintenance building, replace cast iron pipes at the maintenance building, and purchase a new range ball picker. Parks and Recreation, $80,500 for the pool deck spray maintenance, resurfacing of 2 tennis courts, laser grade and clay the baseball fields at Stafford and PB Dove, and repair the soccer field at Stafford. Number 11, budget also includes $45,000 for the city lobbyists, as well as $25,000 for legal costs related to the annexation lawsuit. Number 12, the Public Works budget includes $25,000 for citywide tree planting and $200,000 for tree trimming. Number 13, council budget includes $35,000 funding request from CMI for next year, $14,000 for the River Cities Festival, and $6,000 request from the Historic Museum for storage costs. Page 1, as I mentioned, lists some of the departmental budget wish list considerations that are not included in the base budget discussed above, but are presented for council discussion and consideration. I have also included on page 3 of this memo, which shows the status of our fund balance. We project that as of 9/30/19, we will have the $4.1 million required under our 205% policy. As you can see, we project a small surplus of about $80,000 this year, and this is already included in the $4.1 million figure.
Very good. I would entertain a motion for the setting of the millage. And I
I-
would,
I would, through the chair, like to make that motion, that we go with the recommendation of the administration um, at 7.3500 millage for the next fiscal year, commencing October 1.
That's not,
There
that's
was
not the
7.5.
recommendation. Yeah, the recommendation.
recommendation
may
was to
have-
set it at 7.5 and then,
Oh, I beg
7.5.
your pardon. No, I was looking at this. Yeah, the 7, I beg your pardon. Correction, 7.5.
okay, I got a motion to set the millage rate at 7.5.
Allowing for a surplus of, as mentioned.
Yes. Do I have a second?
I kind of like to keep it where it is. We still have a surplus for what 97,000. At 7.5, what will be the surplus again?
276,385.
Do you see any things that we need besides the what you have that we should be?
Well, what I did was, on these items, you have a priority listing, with number 1 being the top priority.
Right.
So there's there's only 2 items that are high priority here, which is the black olive tree caterpillar mite treatment, which is $23,000, and the fixed license plate reader that police would like to install for $37,500. Those are the only 2 high. And then from there, you have a couple of number 2s.
But we
so-
can
Well,
we can
number
address
one,
those
number
two.
1 in my mind, look, I'm not going to go with number 1s because number 1's what you're saying there, I disagree with. But my opinion is you set it at 7.5, and then you go through the budget, and then
can
I would
trim it
think
down,
just like
yeah.
last year, we'll reduce it and get it down to the 7.3 something. So
I think last year, Mayor, we kept it at the.
no, we started at 7.5.
We started off dropping it, if you
It's really
recall.
funny because last year I was the one arguing to kind of bump it
Well,
up, and I was.
I got it.
No,
I got it first. I mean, I got a motion. I need a second to vote on it.
I'll second that.
Okay. Now we could discuss it. Go ahead.
Mayor and Council, just again for refresher recollection, this sets the proposed, not the tentative, and so from here you can chop it down before it gets approved as
Right.
tentative and then final. If in fact you lower it today and find out that you need additional millage cap in order to budget for the things, it's possible, but we have to go through a very costly renoticing because this goes out in some initial notices from the property appraiser. So essentially, this is why you set a little bit higher and work it back. But
Well, I've
ultimately,
been-
it's up to you.
I've been doing this a long time. We always leave us a cushion.
I'm thinking
And
that.
I got a first and a second, and any further discussion?
Yes,
Go ahead.
thank you. Don't you think 97? If we keep it at where it is now, 7.35, 97,000, it's not going to be enough to cover at least the 2 things that the manager said.
Well, I think
talked
you
about.
also got to think that there's other costs in there that might be more, in my opinion, more important to this city than worrying about the mites and the trees and so on. There's other things that might, as we go through the budget, might be very important for us to think about. So that's why I mean, it's just like, in my mind, running a business. You don't want to cut your nose off to spite your face. You want to make sure that you have all your ducks in a row, because as time goes on with this budget, as we've all been through it quite a bit of times, you go visit the department heads, you go visit different things, and there's a possibility you might need something that you put the millage rate in a place where you can't move. I support the 7.5, and that's how I look at it.
Through the chair, if I might, Mayor, you know, it's almost like you can work it down, you know, but there's
Right,
certain
right.
things. I mean, we really don't have any major projects on the horizon right now, but to me, the 97 that you speak of that can be turned into like 240 or whatever the manager just mentioned, we just incurred quite a bit of debt. So think about twice as much money available to us for a surplus, and you pay the debt down. That's where I'm going with this.
I think I got a first and second. You have any comments, Councilwoman? No. I got a first and second. Call the vote.
Vice Mayor Best,
Aye.
Councilwoman Zapata,
Aye.
Councilman Petrolanda,
Yes.
Mayor Bain.
Yes. Okay. Next, 3B.
This is a resolution of the Mayor and City Council of the City of Miami Springs, Florida, authorizing the issuance of Capital Improvement Revenue Note Series 2019 of the City of Miami Springs, Florida, in the aggregate principal amount of $5 million for the purpose of financing a portion of the cost of construction of a new senior center and the acquisition and installation of lighting for a parking lot. Awarding the sale of the note to Center State Bank N.A., providing for security for the note, providing other provisions relating to the note, making certain covenants and agreements in connection therewith, providing for adoption of representations, providing for certain other matters in connection therewith, providing a severability clause, and providing for an effective date.
Where's my part in that resolution? Where's my protection in that resolution? And the Williams, too.
Is this a new bank, Mr. Manager?
It's out in the middle of the state, Center State. It's
Center-
actually out of Winter Haven, Florida.
I know we've done a fair amount of business in this town with SunTrust. That was unfavorable?
They didn't bid on this one.
Did not?
No. No, because they're going through the transition with
Transition,
BB&T.
yeah.
so
BB&T,
they don't want-
totally get it. Motion to move the item through
Wait
the
a
item
minute,
through the
wait a
chair.
minute. There's got to be, make sure, my name's going on this, and I want to make sure that I'm
Of course
not.
it's going on it.
Yeah, but they take, wait, just wait a minute, Councilman.
Go ahead, sir.
Watch me.
I've done loans in this city before. I've never had to have this much of my personal inside of it.
I understand what you're saying.
And Williams, too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's, to me,
think
you
we
know,
did,
the
what,
city's
3
borrowing the
months?
money.
We've signed on all prior notes, too.
Yeah, but nothing to this degree with your driver's license and.
Okay, execution of the note, it's in section 4.
Okay.
The note's executed by the mayor, city manager, or vice mayor, and city clerk. And at the end, the note is signed on and sealed on behalf of the city by such person at such actual time that the execution and holds the proper office, although the date of the note and such person may not have held office or may not have been so authorized. So it's basically you're signing on behalf of the city in your officer's capacity as mayor and not personally.
Is that good the way it's written? Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. All right, I got a motion?
Go.
Yeah, I need a second.
Second.
Call the vote.
Vice Mayor Best,
Aye.
Councilwoman Zapata,
Aye.
Councilman Petrolanda,
Yes.
Mayor Bean.
Yes. Okay, now we go to 3C, approving the Country Club Food and Beverage.
Yes, Mayor Council, this is a resolution of the Mayor and City Council of the City of Miami Springs, Florida, approving the food and beverage concession agreement for the Miami Springs Golf and Country Club with HRS Management Group LLC, authorizing the manager to execute same, providing for implementation, providing for an effective date. Dan, Tammy, and I have been working with Patrick and Yannick on this over the past few weeks, and we have come up with what we feel is a suitable contract agreement.
Mayor and Council, if I may, working off of the prior agreement and certainly going off of the experiences that we had, we put some additional safeguards in this agreement, including schedule-full improvements and security features in terms of funding capabilities, none of which the providers balked at. They were okay with all of them. They've been rolling their sleeves up and getting to work over there, and you know, we're eager to put this behind us and let them get to work full steam, so they can go on making improvements while you know, beginning the operation. The idea is that they begin August 1st, even though they've already done some preliminary work in the space and in terms of booking. We are also, from our perspective, since we asked for a schedule of capital improvements, those capital improvements have to be approved by the city. So we're not, while we're giving them all the tools they need to succeed and they are executing the way that they want to execute, we're also going to be a little bit more cautious in the way that we authorize improvements. They're also taking a different model. That is, they're not going to stay shut down, make a bunch of improvements, and then open. They're opening and then making improvements as they go, which frankly, from our perspective, means that the club continues to operate and doesn't shut down like it did under the prior provider. So I think we're comfortable with the agreement, and you know, we're also happy with the good faith effort that they've been showing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So motion to approve 3C.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? Call the vote.
Vice Mayor Best.
Aye.
Councilwoman Zapata.
Yes.
Councilman Petralanda.
Yes.
Mayor Bain.
Yes.
So the opening is Thursday, right? Thursday?
I don't know. I haven't heard any.
August 1st.
August
they
1st, when they're
officially take
technically,
over.
Thursday.
assuming the rains.
They should.
And
they take
from
it
what I've heard so far from Paul, they have a serious amount of bookings already over the next few months. And there's something big planned for, I think, August. When is the Miami, Florida game?
24th.
A big event over there. Supposedly Jimmy Johnson and Ted Hendricks and all that are going to be there. And I believe it's almost sold out. I think they only got 8 or 9 tables left.
Well, it looks good. Now, we're here now. I want to think about it. I'm going to get in contact with the commissioner about this bed tax. I want to get it out that, you know, we always are publicized that the Super Bowl is going to bring a lot of money into the cities and the county and everything. And I expressed this to the powers to be at that meeting that I had, that Miami Springs will not get 1 penny out of the Super Bowl deal. I would like to maybe think about calling and lobbying to see if, in fact, they can do a resolution of some kind that during the period of the Super Bowl, that the hotels that are there used in our city, we could capture some of that money from the Super Bowl. And we always hear on TV that it's such a benefit to everybody in the county to have the Super Bowl here, and everybody seems to make a lot of money, but Miami Springs and cities like ours are left out.
I like your idea.
So,
but one thing to think about, Mayor, if I might mention, it could, hopefully it wouldn't blow up and bite us. Because what if we made mega bucks on it and they say, we're not going to get rid of this?
Well, I don't mean, what can I tell you? But I'm just saying. I mean, it's something to think about. Like I expressed to them, Super Bowl's coming, and our hotels will be full. Everybody will be in them hotels supporting the Super Bowl and our parties and everything, and Miami Springs will get nothing out of it. So that's my last saying. And
what do you want from us? You want us to?
I would call up. I don't know, get with Dan and who ask our Jose Fuentes, our lobbyist, to start pushing to see what we can do. It's July, the Super Bowl. Who would? I understand they're gonna. Everybody's gonna benefit. You know, and Miami Springs won't. With all the hotels we have, 19 or 20 of them, and more to come. And that's, you know, it's got to be a team effort. I'm going to contact Jose, and I'm going to ask the commissioner where we're at with it. We're supposed to have another meeting here, so I'll call her up and see what we're going to do.
Appreciate you bringing that up.
Have a nice weekend. When's our next meeting? Oh, workshops on August 5th?
We have a meeting every Monday.
Every Monday in August. Every Monday in August. Okay. And this meeting's adjourned.
And the 2 hearings.
All your political feeds.
Yeah.